So hey there, it's Nayia K.Rose and long time no see. So today I have a different video for you. I just thought it was really interesting and I just wanted to share my thoughts with you. So let's spill the tea. Today I have two stories for you. The one took place this year. Sorry, I made a mistake. I was too tired when I was filming it. 2020 was last year, not this year. But get over it. Let's move on with the video. I'm not gonna film it again. Let's move on. In May 2020, and the other one took place in 2015. Let's start with the first one. We have two similar, if not identical, murders. You like spooky stories? Let me know in the comments if you like spooky stories. I definitely do, but maybe not real ones. So let's start with the first one. Let's go back in May when we all here in Greece, I currently live in Greece, when we all heard in the news and we were shocked. We were so shocked. We heard about that beautiful family, a pilot and his 20-year-old wife, the beautiful Caroline. They had a beautiful wedding, they had a beautiful baby. Their marriage was so nice and they were having such a good time. They also had a dog. Suddenly, one day, some people, I think 3, if I'm not wrong, broke into their house and they tried to steal them. These people broke into their house, they tied up the man, they were violent, they tied him up. They killed the dog. They found a rope around the dog's neck. And they threatened to kill the wife and the baby. Somehow they knew that the couple had money hidden in the house, about 10 to 15k euros. So the man decided to tell them where the money was, but that wasn't enough. These people killed the woman anyway. So that's what we heard in the news. So the police arrived, they found the man, shocked. He told them what happened. But you know, the policemen and everyone else were very suspicious because the cameras they had in the house, the security cameras, were not working. No one saw anyone get in the house. The man was tied up here in the front, not in the back. No, they don't do this because you can easily escape. They don't want that. So he didn't convince them. But still, you know, they couldn't believe that he would kill his wife. They couldn't believe that, so they started searching, and the police was given a huge amount of money to find these people who did that, because that was so sick. The police was offering such a huge amount of money because something terrible happened that night. When they killed the woman, they put the baby on the dead woman's, on the dead mother's arms. And yeah, they put the baby on the dead body of the mother. So that's why they were trying to find information about them. They were given the money for any kind of information that could help solve the mystery. And I as the time passed by, people started believing that it was him. And in the end, he admitted that he did it. He killed Caroline, so that's the story. He also tried to blame other people. He tried to blame a man who was on the news because he tried to steal someone, and he was like, it's him. I know it's him because I can recognize him. Thankfully, the man didn't pay for that because his ex-wife, that night of the murder, that day of the murder, was in his house, and she assured the policeman that he wasn't okay that day. He was not sober, he was drunk, he was in bed, he couldn't get up, he was not okay, and that she went by to help him. So thankfully, this is how the story ends, and the man is in prison, and there are theories that the pilot did it because in the beginning they were so good together and they were okay, and he was so sad. Then he said that they were arguing, and he couldn't make Caroline calm down, so he grabbed a pillow and put it in her face and did what he did. And he did it accidentally, not on purpose. So he still says that he didn't do it on purpose. Now the police tries to find out if this was planned and if he had someone who helped him. We still don't know. Now let's move on to the second story. The second story is about a girl, about a woman called Samantha, and took place in 2015 in Texas. I forgot to mention that there's a theory which says that the pilot made up the story, this terrible story, because he wanted to become famous. And here is where the second story sticks together with the first one. Now we're gonna talk about Samantha. Well, Samantha was a girl who was obsessed with social media, and she wanted so much to become famous on YouTube. She was doing everything for the fame. She was posting everything about her personal life on YouTube. This woman was a single mom, and she got married to a man called Ernie. She had 2 kids, and they had 3 more kids together. Well, they were not getting along together very well, as they had 5 kids, and Ernie had 2 jobs, and he was working all day long, and he was trying to work hard to raise his family, while Samantha was at home and she was supposed to take care of the kids and the house. Well, she didn't do it. She was still trying to become internet famous, and she was using the kids, she was using her personal life. She was trying so hard to make it interesting, and the house was a mess. She wasn't doing much while her husband was working really hard. So one day, Samantha blamed her husband to his family, and she told them that he was abusing her. Well, her family didn't believe that because Ernie was not a violent person. He had never been abusive to anyone, so they didn't believe her. So when the police, they still didn't believe her because there was not evidence. A bit after that, guess what? Samantha one night called her mom screaming that 3 men broke into the house and they tied her up after they hit her and they kidnapped her husband. Relatives arrived at home, they found her tied up, but it was so weird because the kids were still sleeping in the room. It was a bit weird, a bit suspicious, because all this happened and she was screaming. And she called her mom while she was tied up, and when the relatives arrived to the house and found her tied up, they were like, how did you call your mom? You were tied up. And so I was like, I did it with my nose. So they were very suspicious, and all the 5 kids were sleeping in one room all together, and they didn't wake up with all the screams and all this mess. So they were very suspicious for what happened. And guess what? I'm not gonna let you wait. Samantha planned to kill her husband. Samantha never admitted that she planned to kill her husband. But after, telling to the police what happened, they were not convinced. They started searching and searching, and Samantha saw that they were searching a lot, and she started blaming other people. She blamed a friend of her husband. This man, who finally said to the police that he and Samantha had planned to put drugs on Ernie so he could be arrested, and they would find the drugs on him. So the people who sold the drugs to them, they told her that, we can kill him if you like. And so I was like, okay. I tried to sum up the story. The most shocking in this story is not that only Samantha planned to kill her husband so she could have a great story for the internet. That's one theory. Another theory is that she killed him because he was abusive to her, but that was never proved. But she planned to kill him in front of her children, when she and all these people who helped her kill him planned this whole thing. Her kids were in the same room. So, do you see any similarities here? We have 3 men. They got in the house, they tied up the pilot, they tied up the woman. They killed the wife, they killed the husband. They accused other people. What do you think? What do you think about it? Do you see any other similarities? Do you see something in that? Isn't that interesting? I thought it was really, really interesting, because these 2 murders had too many things in common, and just thinking that someone would just kill in order to become famous is... oh my god. We say a lot of things lately, but yeah, this is too much. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that these murderers have something to do with each other? Of course, they don't know each other, but do you think that the pilot had read something about that and he got the idea from Samantha? Do you believe that these are similar? I think that they are similar. This is just interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. That's it. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you can sleep well tonight. Please subscribe if you liked the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!